2057. Earth's resources are completely depleted. A race to claim every ore-bearing rock in the solar system begins. (2079). Tension grows as opposing nations compete for ever-declining resources and expand their military capabilities in space. 2085. Eurofed Deep Space Survey ship Argo is impounded by SDR-AF coalition forces. 3 ships are destroyed in the ensuing police action. Negotiations fail and war breaks out. 2086. The war escalates and military resources on all sides are rapidly depleted. 2087. The final fleet action takes place at Nereus Harbor, orbiting Neptune. Within days, the battle is finished. Damaged and badly irradiated, the flagship Damocles is the only cruiser to survive the conflict. The war is over. Powerful multinational corporations unite to take control and restore order to the tatters of society. With little remaining military or financial resources, Earth's governments are stripped of their powers and are forced to demilitarize. The construction of capital-class armed spacecraft is outlawed. 2089. The corporations continue the exploitation of space, making vast profits to further strengthen their position. Earth's coalition government is allowed to create a multinational force to keep order in the colonies. The government police are born.
I never intended to join the G-Police. A lot of vets did after the collapse, but I'd seen enough killing. And killing's what it's all about. When they first hit the colonies, the G-Police operated like any other Earth-based force. They got slaughtered by the truckload, and it was clear that the frontiers required more forceful policing. Close air support was introduced in the shape of the AG-60 Havoc. I'd flown these babies on Mars during the war, and they were past their prime even then. Lack of funding from Earth means that these ships are still in frontline service. Second-hand machines flown by second-hand crews. Which doesn't make the job any easier. G-Police are supposed to represent government authority in the colonies, but I knew the score. Most smart cops did now. Keep the population under control and try and turn a blind eye to any shady corporation deals. G-Police are all volunteers, usually vets with time on their hands. There's a few high-minded idealists who think they can make a difference, but the majority are just running from problems back on Earth. The G-Police ask no questions. If you're willing and you're up to it, you're in. Elaine Slater was one of the idealists. She was on her 4th tour as a Havoc pilot on Callisto, and now she's dead. Another good cop among many. They don't keep count anymore, but Elaine Slater was different. She was my sister. The inquiry gave a verdict of suicide linked to stress and depression. I didn't buy that. Elaine had won commendations for closing a couple of big cases, and she'd even hinted at a new romance. Depression just didn't fit the picture. If I didn't believe the suicide verdict, that left only one option. Someone murdered her and went to the trouble of covering it up. I had to know the truth. With a couple of street contacts and most of my savings, I bought a new identity and signed up as a Havoc pilot in the colonies. My military record got me a posting to the main hotspot, Callisto, to Elaine's old unit. I knew I'd have to watch my back out there. If anyone found out I was Elaine's brother, I was as good as dead.
Welcome to Callisto, Mr. Taylor. I'm Commander Horton, and I run this operation. I don't know who you were trying to fool with that false name, Bull Slater, but it's not gonna work on me.
I'd met some of the pilots already. They
Your
seemed
sister
pleasant
was a good
enough.
pilot, Slater.
Horton was another story.
But if I
A
hadn't known so
horror
many good
story.
pilots recently,
He
me and
talked
the next
tough and looked
transport
tougher.
out of here.
That hunk of tin hanging around his brain hadn't slowed him down, though.
Let's get one
He'd
thing
spotted my
straight.
phony ID and was not impressed.
I don't care what your
Arriving on the
internal
same
message
flight as
is,
the internal affairs
but if
investigator
you
hadn't
work
earned
for
me any
Ron
brownie
wearing that
points
badge,
either.
then you're
It was plain that my new commander didn't trust
Make
me.
myself
Yeah,
clear.
that was okay. I wasn't too sure about him either.
And we both understand each other.
As I listened to Horton, I noticed the medals he wore.
We're in the middle
A
of
vet from the
fine weather
Naris
here at
action.
Callisto, and I won't
No
stand
wonder
for
he
any
looked
personal
half dead.
remarks.
Well, then it clicked.
I've
He
done
was
some checking
the
on you, Slater.
Horton, the last great fleet
Your
captain.
military record says you're a
What the
good
hell
pilot,
was
but
he
I'll tell you
doing in this
this.
backwater?
I don't trust you, Slater, and I'm gonna be watching you like a hawk. Your first briefing is tomorrow at 0500 hours in the main briefing room. In the meantime, I suggest you take a look at your unit's database and familiarize yourself with it. That's all for now, Slater. Dismissed.